Hello, everyone, and welcome to Hello Word, the podcast where we explore the fascinating world of the English language one word at a time. I'm your host, Alex, and today our word of the day is combat. Combat, as a noun, refers to fighting, especially during a war. It means armed fighting. It's a C1 level word, so it adds real power to your English vocabulary. Let's break it down. Combat refers to a situation involving fighting between opposing armed forces. You might read about soldiers engaged in combat or hear about a region experiencing intense combat. It's a word that often appears in news reports or historical accounts, describing military action or conflicts. Think of historical battles, modern warfare, or even strategically planned operations. Now, let's look at some synonyms, words that have similar meanings. One synonym for combat is warfare. For example, the museum displayed artifacts from ancient warfare. Another synonym is fighting. We can say, the streets were filled with fierce fighting after the political rally. A third synonym is battle. The battle raged for 3 days before the city fell. Another synonym is conflict. The long-standing conflict between the tribes led to significant combat. Lastly, we have the synonym skirmish. A brief skirmish broke out between the two patrols. Now, let's explore some antonyms, words with opposite meanings to combat. A key antonym is peace. For instance, after years of combat, the country finally achieved peace. Another antonym is truce. The two sides agreed to a truce to allow for negotiations. We can also use agreement as an antonym. The agreement brought an end to the years of combat. Another is harmony. They lived in harmony after the end of the combat. Lastly, we have ceasefire. A fragile ceasefire was declared, hoping to end the combat. How can you use combat in everyday life? While it's often associated with military contexts, combat can also be used figuratively. You might talk about combating stress or combating a disease. For example, she is in combat with her own self-doubts. Or, the government is in combat with corruption. In common expressions, you might hear phrases like enter into combat or engaged in combat. These phrases simply mean someone or something is actively fighting or struggling against something else. Let's look at some more usage examples. The soldiers were trained for hand-to-hand combat. The pilot engaged in aerial combat with enemy fighters. The doctor is leading the combat against the deadly virus. The environmental group is in combat with deforestation. She described her experience in combat during the war. The politician vowed to combat poverty in the region. He received a medal for his bravery in combat. The boxer is preparing for his upcoming combat. The general strategized the combat operations. The country is investing heavily in combat technology. The cybersecurity team is constantly in combat with hackers. Researchers are in combat with climate change. The company is in combat with its competitors for market share. The lawyer is preparing for combat in the courtroom. The firefighters are in combat with the raging wildfires. In summary, combat means fighting, especially in a war. We've explored synonyms like warfare, fighting, and battle, and antonyms like peace, truce, and agreement. We've seen how it can be used in various contexts, from military action to figurative struggles. Thank you for joining me on Hello Word today. I hope you found this exploration of combat helpful. Remember to subscribe to the podcast so you don't miss our next word adventure, and please leave us a review. Your support helps other language learners discover our show. Now, I have a challenge for you. Create your own sentence using the word combat and share it as a comment under this video. I'm excited to see what creative sentences you come up with. This is Alex signing off. See you next time on Hello Word.